Hey, energy party people. What time is it? That's right. It's Monday again. The day that keeps rolling around. All right. So while we're waiting for anybody to show up, we're going to light a little Palo Santo and smudge the space. All right. And once I can get this out, let's light my best friend candle for my best friend of 30 plus years, Sadie. And just a reminder, it says, our friendship is like this candle. If you forget me, I'll burn your fucking house down. Sweet. Oops. Sadie gets me. She knows she wants this would be an appropriate gift for me. So yay. Hey Sadie, even though she's my very best friend and she doesn't watch my show. Yeah, she has. Okay, whatever. Got the music. All right, so welcome to another rousing episode of Magic Mondays. I'm Colleen McCann, as you can probably read from the screen. And as I've been saying lately, Colleen McCann, energy healer extraordinaire. Yeah. Whew, things have been moving for me. Yeah, things have been pretty fucking amazing, to put it in a nutshell. But let's say hello to a few people. Yvonne, hi. I was just thinking about you a lot this morning. Erica and Mimi and Roy, thanks guys for being here. So, yeah, it's been quite the week. Ooh, Pam's tuning in. Yay, Pam. Yeah, I swear, like trying to go back to the start of when this energy really started moving. And I mean, I can really trace it back to my whole life because this had to happen for this to happen, blah, 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 you know. Um, but when I don't even want to say uh, hurt my hip, because yeah, it did hurt for a little while. Um, but as I've mentioned, I'm sure many times, when I hurt, I felt that like something was breaking apart. Honestly, I thought maybe it was cartilage breaking in my hip socket, the labrum, if you will. Um, throw out some of those chiropractic school words that I paid, I'm still paying for. Anyway, so hi, Karen. And yes, Roy, it is tax day. I'm glad to say that we've already filed and we spent our return. Anyway, but ever since well, I'll just say what it feels like to me and what it resonated as for me, or I played with the possibility of as I'm like, uh-oh, what have I done to myself? Um, Pretty much simultaneously, I got myself to sitting a seated position to evaluate further, but I thought, this feels like an opening. And on my right side, I think of that's my, dad side, masculine side, moving forward side. And I really am moving forward. And not to sound cheesy, but whatever. Um, I, I feel, well, it's not like I feel, it's just, don't want to talk in definite terms, but basically I've stepped into like another, it's like I've been leveled up. Let's just use that term. I feel more solid in myself. I just feel better. And anything that comes up I've been feeling really good. And anything that comes up that doesn't feel great or just kind of feels a little like sticky, I ask about it. Or more importantly, wow, I just saw a crazy shadow outside. I think a bird did a dive bomb. Anyway, what I've been playing with a lot is tapping, and just making it my own. And a lot of it, like when I learned tapping, or I think tapping is kind of like, okay, well, because of this shitty thing, I completely love and accept myself, and that's great. But for me, it's just been like, okay, I'm really excited about my book. Let's keep it flowing. And just, I'm not doing a very good job of this. And I really should have more of a plan when I start my show instead of freewheeling it, freestyling it completely. But I'm just finding, okay, I'll just leave you with this for the moment. I'm finding a lot of relief and release and energy flow by tapping. Yeah. And it's just like, even if I don't write today, I completely love and accept myself. Like, even if you only did that much, I think you'd be doing yourself a favor. And if you know me for a few minutes, well, let's see. If you know me for about 5 minutes, I am madly in love with my husband. If you know me for about 10 minutes, I like marijuana. Uh, well, if you know me for that same 10 minutes, you'll know that my work is really my life. And the things I talk about, that's what I do for myself, for my life, and for my clients. And I keep hearing about more and more profound um, shifts for people after we've worked together. And that's just kind of like the biggest trip to the candy store for me is when people report back like, I can't believe this just happened. Um, and while I'm here, I'll mention I recently worked with somebody that my husband referred to me. Somebody he's been working with for a long time, and she is a magic person herself. But there's this thing she just couldn't get past. Plus, she has a regular job, so it was like my regular job is this. So yeah, so I understand when people are like don't have the time and energy to spend doing what I do. And that's why I'm writing my book to give more ideas of how to be more magical. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. What were her complaints? Like, can't hold down food too well anymore. A lot of digestive issues. Um, yeah, and pain and upset and not cool. And it was affecting her life. Hi, Deja. Hi, Karen. I'm glad you're here. So, yeah. And so we did what I do. And together, our energy fields created some pretty fucking magical openings and heard from her the following day that it's completely gone. And what it turned out to be, and it took her whole session, like it took the entire hour, uh, was a past life where she'd been stabbed and it never healed. And there was a love triangle. And so there were some other people and other spirits involved that needed clearing too. And as a result, yeah. Anyway, so exciting. I'm not conveying it very well, but whatever. That's what I have to say about that. Yeah. And so life has just gotten more and more fun. And when it doesn't feel fun, I look into it energetically. And I say this to you just to show fellow sensitive people um, that there's hope. I hear so many people talking about, like, well, this is just the way it is. And it's like, that's fucking bullshit. That's so sad. Like, that just breaks my heart that people don't see that there's like a completely like a whole different facet to look at. Like, even though you see what you see in the world and that's just how it is, no, it's not just how it is, because whatever you're seeing that's upsetting you, or that person that just isn't getting it right, um, and that bugs you so much, that's the gift for you. And when you learn how to interpret your upsets and the icky feelings that come up, our feelings are there for a reason, in case you're wondering. Hi, Laura. Nice to see you here. Yeah, there's just so much magic available. And I see so much suffering and I hear about so much suffering and I hear people's stories and I love hearing people's stories. Um, and I just so want people to understand that there's a different way to look at things. People have like, well, this is the way we do it. Well, how to quote Dr. Phil, who I haven't been watching anymore because it just doesn't appeal. But but he'll say, like, how's that working for you? How is that working for you? Ooh, hi, Jennifer. Wow, is it a holiday today or something? Like all these people are showing up. Yay. Yeah, so I have so much to say, but before, oh, and I don't want to miss 11:11. Um, and yes, Mimi, where Mimi is, it'll be 111, which is my absolute favorite number, my favorite magic number. So I'm just gonna look for what I want to queue up for our moment of Zen slash make a wish if you want at 111 or 1111 in mere moments. So, and I'm not gonna miss it this time. So don't mind me while I keep looking at the clock. Um, yeah. So, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, we're waiting for the clock to change. I'm just going to pull up the picture now. This was taken by a lovely friend of mine who's an acupuncturist. Uh, and she's a worker of magic as well. And she's in Bali right now. And I asked her, like, "Did you seriously take this picture? Because it's so beautiful, it looks fake." And there are monkeys involved. Okay, but I'm gonna be quiet now, and, if you're playing along, make a wish, set an intention for today. What do you want more of today? I'm going with joy and flow, and now I'm gonna be quiet. Okay. Yeah, I told her she needs to put that on canvases and, like, sell them or something. So cool. And if she doesn't, I'm probably gonna just print it out myself and steal steal her picture. Anyway, yeah, so let me just check in my comments real quick, just in case I've missed anything. Um, Hi, Shannon. I'm glad you're here. Shannon says she's working on subconscious blocks. Ugh. Well, Shannon, I say, woohoo, good for you. Yeah, and it's just, I think it's a matter of collecting tools, like filling your energetic tool bag up for ways like when shit bubbles up in the blocks, like Shannon's talking about, or if you see that person and you just know you're going to be angry or whatever. I don't have time to list every possible upset available to us. Upset slash magic. Yeah, when something is really upsetting, like if you're, I'll use it again, like if you look at Donald Trump or you look at what's happening in Ukraine or what's happening in our government or, coronavirus or whatever is being highlighted for you in the form of, "Ugh," that's where the magic is. I shit you not. And if you have tools to like just say the emotion code, which I think everybody and their brothers should read and take part in, because it's terribly easy. It's so good. But just when you have your tools available for the upset, you can be like, okay, and maybe just to get yourself to the point of being able to look into your issue. It's like, even though I am so fucking mad at my mother right now, I'm just making shit up. I completely love and accept myself. Even though I think she's an idiot and I'm right, I completely love and accept myself. And I'm open to having more understanding and compassion for both of us so we can both enjoy our lives. I'm just making shit up. That's what I do. Um, but really, it can be so simple to do the tapping thing. And as I like to say, it's freelicious and you can do it anytime. And I've been really playing with it. But seriously, I've thought about writing a book. I've thought about writing a book for probably about 20 years now. Um, and Shannon, can you believe we've been out of school for like 20 years? 21 years for me anyway. Yeah, so, but I used to think about writing a book called Trigger Happy, meaning like finding the magic in your triggers. I know it might sound weird. Like to me, it's just such common knowledge. Like, why doesn't everybody get it yet? I get so frustrated. Uh, but that's part of the reason I'm here doing my show, just to give you 1 hour a week for the last about year and a half slice of my life. With the intention of helping magic people find their magic um, and learn how to just feel better in these bodies. And I really think all of our upsets are there for a purpose. And when you start being able to confront them, whew, and confronting things, I started getting a lot better at confronting through Scientology. I hate to say, because it's a long story, but basically the company where Dave and I met in Florida, Clearwater, Florida, the mothership of Scientology. Um, yeah, if you ever want to watch mysterious groups of people all dressed the same in like khakis and a dark blue shirt or khakis and a different color shirt, scurrying around from building to building, go to Clearwater, Florida. Yeah. Anyway, but the organization that where Dave and I met, yeah, they're Scientologists. They don't lead with that, but they use Hubbard technology, and some of that Hubbard technology really shaped my life, really changed my life in some beautiful ways. There's some of the processes just really, you just never know where that opening's going to come. Um, but then the rest of it, Scientology can go fuck themselves. That's my line anyway. Yeah. So all over the place as normal, but welcome to my world. Um, oh, Shannon lives 30 minutes from Clearwater. Interesting. Um, yeah, yeah, Shannon nailed it. So creepy. I don't know if you've seen the people walking around in groups, like so fascinating. Anyway, but certain things that happened in that group. Well, I can say, and I say the word cult kind of joking around, but any groups I've been involved in for a while, and I've learned a lot of stuff. But then the thing is, they want you to like stay with them forever and use their language and do things a certain way, and that's where I have to say bye, smell you later. And Shannon, I don't know if you've heard me say this before on my show, but when I say smell you later, I think of you. I'm not sure why. And I mean that as the highest compliment. Anyway, so blah, blah, blah. Let's go to what I've been calling my credo, um, which is part of, okay, I probably shouldn't talk about this one subject because I'm still trying to put the pieces together for my book. But I had a major breakthrough on Friday, and oh, I can't help it. I'm going to attempt to explain it in a second. But first, let's go to one of the foundational belief systems. I don't know what to call it, but this is foundational for me believing, or this is how I think. The universe isn't a conspiracy for our happiness. The universe always has our backs. Therefore, if it's happening to us, it's happening for us. So, what is the universe bringing to our attention for our highest growth, healing, and happiness? This is something I've trained myself to resort to when all of a sudden I'm feeling like shit about something, when I get triggered. And um and don't get me wrong, like I'm not like, "Oh, I get triggered and then I'm just immediately happy." No. I'm a human. I have my feelings. They're there for a reason, and some triggers take me a while, but pretty much immediately there's a part of me saying, "Okay." I always say this like, "Okay, muffin, you're going to feel what you got to feel, but when you're ready, we're going to get out our pendulum and we're going to start ripping this fucker apart and see what is bubbling up to the surface in the form of upset about, under the guise of upset about whatever. And we're going to see what needs to be handled. But before I go to the pendulum, before I hit the pendy, I remember, okay, the universe 100% has my back. The universe is a lovely, loving, has nothing but the best for me. And when I remember that, it helps to it helps to make sense of an upset, and it helps to start structuring it in a way for benefit and not just dragging me down, and then being in a really bad mood and then infecting anybody else around me, because I'm really good at that. I'm really good at that. If I'm not feeling good, everyone's probably gonna feel it around me. So, yeah. So the more I can handle this, get a handle on my personal upsets, because so say Dave, we'll just use Dave because he's the closest person to me. He might say something and I get kind of triggered. Um, and in my old life, I might have thought like, oh, I'm upset because he said that thing, I but a way to think of it is like, "Oh, okay. Thank you, Dave, for being the messenger of this particular, dose of healing for me." And I realized the trigger isn't about necessarily about what Dave said. It's about what is being, like, lit up or yeah, bubbling up to the surface, old, unfinished unprocessed energy bubbling up to the surface for healing. And then when I get to a point where I ask about things with my pendulum, that's where my tool bag comes in. And then I start asking, okay, what's in my tool bag? Trapped emotions. That's one thing I can look at in my tool bag, I can resort to. Even if that was the only thing in your tool bag, you'd be doing yourself and your family and everyone who ever has to deal with you or gets to deal with you, you'd be doing such a service to everybody, namely yourself, by learning the emotion code, even if that's the only tool in your tool bag. But I also recommend adding my credo to your or some form of it in your tool bag as a reminder, a place that you train yourself to go to when you're upset. I used to spend days and days and days being upset. Like, what the fuck? Talk about a lot of wasted time and wasted energy, which could have been like, I think that's magic, as I've mentioned. Going to keep saying it. It's magic bubbling up to the surface. Upsets are magic bubbling up to the surface for our highest good and well being and healing. It's a matter of interpreting it. It really comes down to interpreting it and cleaning it up. And y- yeah, and magic to be able to know that when I get upset, I'm gonna be able to handle it in some way. Just saying. Whew! That was a lot to say. So, all right. Um, yeah. So what do I have written here? Um, okay, I wrote a haiku the other day. I believe it's my first. And sorry if you've already seen it, but I think it's kind of dare I say I think it's kind of amazing. I'm not trying to say that to toot my own horn, but I just um, but I think it's kind of amazing, and I see it as so I'm writing my book with a particular amalgam. Like I part of Okay, Yvonne, I wish you were talking to me right now. You could maybe help. Yvonne is in my writing group, and we have the most just lovely little writing group that is creating so much magic for all of us that are writing a book. And yeah, so for my particular and part of that our writing group is we talk about who we're writing for and getting real specific. Because for me, it's always like, I just want to help everybody, but getting real specific. So this is for my reader. Um, and I believe it's going to be part of the book, probably at the beginning of the book. But anyway, this is a distillation or a haiku of kind of how I feel about my book or what my book has to offer. And reading this out loud is hard for me. I don't know why. Yeah, but she's primed for a shift, her magic cleverly stored, awaiting its spark. And I think that's part of what I have to offer. And I'm not the only one, not trying to make myself all grandiose or whatever. Um, yeah, but I think that's part of my magic is helping you to see yours. Um, Yeah, if that's appropriate for you. Yeah. So anyway, um, and part of what's so I had this major breakthrough the other day, and I'll just share part of it, and hopefully I won't go too long around it. But Yeah, I was sitting in the sun before on Friday before our magical writing group, and I was thinking about an Abraham quote, abrahamhicks.com. Like, I get a daily Abraham quote. I love Abraham. I've been on a cruise, as I probably bragged about in the past. Highly recommend it. Even got to meet Jerry, who's no longer with us. Anyway, um, and the quote, oh, I should really have it up here. But basically, all it really said in a few different ways is people, so when you cannot love someone and worry about them at the same time is basically all it said. And it said, people often mistake worrying about somebody for loving them. And no, and I read that, and something about that really clicked for me and got me to start mulling over, like, well, who do I worry about most? Um, yeah. And if you don't know who I worry about most, then you haven't spent even 5 minutes with me. so, um, and I most worry about Dr. Dave McCann, the fabulous Dr. Dave McCann, my amazing uh, husband, um, who and my former husband was amazing too. And we got each other to a certain place. And now we get to be with people who are better suited for us for our further expansion, is how I look at it. Um, yeah. And I've spent a lot of years, like in June, we'll be married 15 years already. Wow. Um, And my life has so changed since we've been together, and that includes every bit of energy work that I've done. Like, I started stepping into that shortly after marrying Dave. My and one of my theories on that, read the book, but is that I finally felt safe in revealing and going to some dark places, etc., to bring out my light and my energy work, which is what I'm here to do. Yeah. Hi, Marianne. Oh, I'm so excited you're here. That's awesome. Oh, and just so you know, I know Marianne from high school, and this is evidence of it. I call Eenie Weenie. That's me. Anyway, oh, Laura's here too. Wow, another Laura. Ooh, Laura two ways in this episode. I'm glad you're here, Laura. Yeah. So blah blah blah. But just you might just want to mull that over. Of Abraham's premise of you cannot love somebody and worry about them at the same time. And so thinking about all of the time, like I was tripping the other day about like, oh my God, what if somebody could quantify the amount of energy I have wasted or drained or siphoned off under the guise of worrying about Dave? Will he make it home tonight? He has a commute, you know, we're not getting any younger, blah, 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 all that old bullshit. That's old technology. Um, and there are a lot of steps or a lot of philosophies that I have started training myself to like, oh, yeah, well, and this one fits with this one. And well, my credo, that's like a bunch of philosophies all together in one, I think, easy to swallow bite. Um, But there's a lot of different, okay, why am I trying to talk about this? Like, you can see how it's hard for me to write about it because there's so much. But basically, just that one statement alone from Abraham has changed my game. I already feel less anxious about Dave's well-being, because quite frankly, I think what trumps this human life is my appreciation. Here we go. Cue waterworks. Tears of validation. Um, Ultimately, I'm an Aquarian, so maybe that's part of it. I don't know, but I tend to look at when I'm not stuck in the tiny minutia of like, "Meh," I look at things from a broader perspective. And I believe our higher selves and our personal work, each and every one of us Every single person, every single everything is on their personal journey and their path. And whatever is best for, in this case, Dave McCann's highest good on a soul level, then that's what I root for. And whew, the conclusion I come to, there's a lot of steps. Maybe I'll share those more later, but just coming to the awareness and conclusion that even though if I found out that Dave died today, the fact I can say that out loud is amazing. Come a long way. But if God forbid, shouldn't say that, if Dave no longer was part of my life all of a sudden today, well, sure, it would be horrible and devastating, but I no longer question if I would stay on the planet or not. I've announced that in the past few months, but yeah, ultimately, I want what's best for his highest good and well-being on a soul level. And if that meant no longer being here, well, through all of my philosophies that I'm, finding the connection between, I would find my way because you know what? The universe has my back. And if it happens to me, it's bringing up whatever I need for my personal, beautiful soul journey. And I'm leaving out details. Like I said, I'm trying to like put this all together in a coherent way for like a chapter in my book. And it's taken on a life of its own, but it has been pure fucking magic. Just to know that I would indeed ultimately be okay. And I shared this with him last night because he's a guy, he's different, but I know he spends a lot of time worrying about me too. Because when you find something so fucking special, you just want to hold on to it. But there's holding on to it in a way that's not healthy. And it's taking up energy. We are both on huge missions to help people in this lifetime. And I don't want my energy or my fear or him knowing, because I say it out loud, how fearful I am about his well being. I don't want to slow down his growth. I just don't. Yeah. So even if that means that he wouldn't be with me in the physical, well, you know what? I'd figure it out because I would find the magic in it at some point. It might take a while, but I would find it. Anyway, as I said, I'm not going to talk about this. Yeah. So that being said, that was a lot. Yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of thinking that I'm wondering what Koop's facial hair is looking like today. Beard. No beard. So without further ado, we're catching up with Koop. We're catching up with Koop. Yeah. All right. So, better turn off my microphone. Hey, Koop.
Hey there. So yeah, about a week, I guess.
Okay. Well, I think you look great.
Yeah, I kind of missed it. Actually, I shaved for a couple weeks in a row, and I don't know. I kind of like it. You just when I start biting it and feeling it on my lip, I don't like that. So there's a limit to it.
Well,
but, yeah,
you got to watch out for the flavor savers, right?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Like when Dave and I eat
dog,
popcorn, if we eat
Allie
popcorn,
especially. Yeah, popcorn
Dave
sounds
and I
really
eat
good.
popcorn at night, and then I'm like, you better wash your beard.
I was watching
and
somebody
your
on
mustache.
TV eat popcorn last night, and I don't really crave things like, but yeah, I want popcorn really bad. Some fiddle faddle. I want some like
Oh,
fiddle faddle or some Cracker Jacks.
Cracker Jacks, right?
But yeah.
Oh, well, the votes are in.
Oh, there you go.
Yvonne says, looking great, Coop. So there you go. Yeah. So, how was Easter? Did you do anything with your family or?
Nope. In fact, I really wasn't aware it was Easter Sunday until I saw the Saturday Night Live cold open. I was like, holy shit, for us. Okay. I mean, I guess I knew it had been Good Friday because there's all kinds of hubbub at the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Holy Land and all what, so I knew it was good, but then I forgot again. And
Yeah, I
no,
wasn't thinking of it either.
no, I mean, when the kids were little, it was a big deal. We'd go to my parents' house every
Sure.
Easter Sunday, and they'd hunt for eggs in the backyard. We'd have brunch, that kind of thing. But no, Cheryl sent us some pictures of the kids when they were little.
Oh,
And
that's nice.
yeah,
Cool.
I think my mom and dad replied to that, but I didn't actually hear from them. Like, have you? And I didn't. I was kind of blah. I don't know. It's not as cultural. It's more of a religious thing than Christmas, say. I don't know. So
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything to me. Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean, I try to just. It did mean something. The symbolism, the new beginning, springtime.
Oh, sure. Well, I
So
like
yeah.
that.
So yeah, I get behind all that, but yeah, no, it's the first Sunday after the first full moon of spring is really what. But it's all there was in Vietnam, and there's a Buddhist holiday, there's a Hindu holiday, there's a Muslim holiday. The first full moon after the
Oh,
first Sunday
neat.
of the
I didn't realize
so,
that connection.
yeah. So Easter's a lunar holiday. That's why it moves around every year, and
Okay.
because everyone else around the world's partying too, so it makes sense that it kind of synced up. Like Christmas time, there's a bunch of stuff going on then too. So the pagan origins of Christian holidays.
Learn something every day. Yeah. If you ever want to know something about holidays, especially religious holidays, I am not
Go
your
ahead.
gal.
Okay.
Like, I didn't ask Dave yesterday, but usually on Easter, I'm like, okay, what does it mean again? And I still couldn't tell you. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, plus I mean, I grew up a Catholic till I went away to college, really. So, yeah, it was a kind of a big deal around our house. But I knew that my dad had spent a lot of time in church, probably since he goes to mass almost every day anyway. So, I'm sure he went on Good Friday for sure for
Your
extra
dad
long.
goes to church. Your dad goes to mass every day.
Yeah, he didn't used to, but when he got
Like
to a certain
now?
age, yeah, now he does. Yeah. So.
Wow. I
Yep.
didn't know that was a thing you could go to every day.
Oh yeah, it used to be kind of like it used to be required. I mean, people used to do it all the time. And yeah, there's a mass in pretty much every Catholic church every day, and usually it's really old people that go. And when they die, I don't know. I know the Catholic Church is I don't know, and at least in America, it's growing in Africa and a lot of other places in the world, but not in America. So
Interesting.
but yeah, I've always been interested in the origins of holidays and comparative mythologies. I mean, all these different cultures celebrating supposedly separate holidays for different gods and whatever, but it's all the same. It's all the same story, just different inflections of culture and locality. But so.
You know what I want to celebrate right now? How good of a host Lizzo was on Saturday Night Live.
I had never heard of her. I had no idea who she was. So.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah.
I love her, and I only have one of her albums. I don't know how many she has. She probably has a few, but oh my God, she's amazing. Like her music is like I didn't recognize the songs from the show; those are new ones. But oh my God, so good. Me likey Lizzo. Anywho, yeah, and so you said you've been playing with the tapping a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it has helped. I need to make it more of a habit. I usually only remember, oh yeah, I should be tapping when I'm not walking the dogs or when I let my mind wander to bad places. I wake up and it's like, oh, okay, I gotta get myself out of this spot, and I start tapping and
That's
doing
huge.
it out loud too, saying it out loud. It counts for more than just saying it in my head. It really does. So
I always tell people I think there's a magic in saying it out
it kind of
loud.
cuts the
You
bottom
can
off my
bring
load.
light.
It's been smoothing things out for me. So I should need to do it more. And I found my emotion code book. I'm gonna start reading it today. So.
Well, yay. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you like it. I think I found it fascinating. And I know our experiences are different, but yeah, I read it in like a day and a half, which is not me.
Yeah.
Like at the time, I was like, we're talking 15 years ago or so, almost. Yeah, I even skipped a few meals because I was so into it. And I promised myself I wouldn't try it until I read the entire thing. And yeah, it's just such an easy read. And he gives so many examples. And He
Should I?
basically hands it on a silver platter and you just have to do your part, but it's fascinating. I'm hoping people someday are going to be like, oh my God, Colleen's book is so fucking fascinating. Um,
Right?
it's becoming realer by the day. And yeah, I'm
I'm
really
excited.
excited about it.
I'm excited. So excited for it and for you. And I respect you so much for not
Thanks.
just even for writing the book, but for doing your show and for all the things you try in your life to make things better. It's you're an inspiration to me.
Well, thank you. Well, it's been really hard for me to be me, and I get to discover ways for me to feel better in the world and then help other people do the same. So that's my goal. So thank you.
Good job. Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, and I don't need to mention this now, but I'm just working on putting it out there. And someday I'll send out a message to my email list. Oh my God. So I've been doing some tapping around just being willing to confront it. And I feel already better about it, but I have a lot of energy around like when people get sessions from me and they pay me through my website or I don't even know if email addresses are being collected or if there's something I need to be doing. Like there's a lot for me to confront. Um, and and just the fact I can kind of talk about like I haven't been confronting it, that is a loosening of the energy. And just yesterday I was thinking, like, what do I really not want to confront? Oh, email list and sending out. Like I've been threatening to send out a newsletter for, 15 years. So and I just can't do it.
Maybe I could help you with that.
Well, maybe you can.
I have some information from you. I could, at least find out. I could log in for you or do whatever and call whoever needs to be or email, just find out what's going on for you.
Well, maybe we'll just chat about that soon. But basically just the reason I bring it up is okay, even though I feel like a fucking loser regarding my email list and not using it, I completely love and accept myself exactly as I am right now. And I'm asking for flow. Like, okay, well, universe, I'm asking for energy to be loosened up around me confronting my email list. And just doing that, it at the very least takes the edge off of it. So that's something I've been playing with. And I've been playing with, like, even though I haven't finished my book yet, and even though I haven't written anything today, I completely love and accept myself. And then I can work myself into like a super fucking excited state. And then next thing you know, I am furiously writing.
There you go.
What?
Yeah, it should happen. I mean, just flow, like you said, flow, and it happens naturally once it's flowing.
Yeah, it's been really amazing. So I'm having a lot of fun with the tapping. But what I was going to mention is it's become this has been in the works for months and months. But I'm officially raising my session rates, my energy exchange rate, energy exchange rate. The container that it's been in is too small. And as I expand in my work, I'm raising my rates. Yeah. And I'll just say it out loud here. And, basically, I've come to the conclusion of it's so clear I need to do this. Even if I lost every single client I currently have, then that's how it has to be. And I don't like that. And of course, I can grandfather or grandmother people into my old price as I choose. I'm the boss here, but ultimately, for new people at least, I'm raising it from $150 to $250 for an hour. Yeah, and a while back, a good friend of mine, who's an amazing healer, Natalie Vale, Dr. Natalie Vale, Reverend Dr. Natalie Vale. She sent out a newsletter because she has that system down. Bitch. Just kidding. I'm kidding. She's amazing. She's amazing. I love her so much. She's one of my very favorite people in the world. But I saw in her newsletter that she was, raising some of her rates, including one of her things she offers is she calls it energy healing. And that went up to $250. And I remember reading that a while back and click. And just sitting there because it was mirroring to me what I needed to do myself. And here, this bitch, I'm totally kidding. I love Natalie so much. Can't help myself. But Lizzo taught us you can say bitch a lot on Saturday Night Live. But yeah, I am that bitch. So anyway, blah blah blah. I sent her a message the other day thanking her for triggering me, basically, and it really helped. In a series of events, blah blah blah, led me to get real clear. I'm like, okay, this has to happen as of June 1st is the timeline I'm putting on it. So if you're watching this, you want a session that's not $250, but believe me, the magic expands with the price. It's just how it works. Yeah. So if you want a session before I raise my rates, do it before June 1st. Just saying. And I'm probably raising my mini sessions up to 100. Yeah.
Still a
Just
bargain.
saying. Yeah. And if, like I said, even if I had to start completely over with finding clients, okay. I don't want to do that because I love many of the people that I've worked with over the years. But I also honor our paths, our highest, for our highest good. And for my highest good, it's to do this. And if I work with you, it's for my highest good and your highest good for me to be, for there to be a fair exchange rate. Yeah. I'm also working on not getting exhausted after I do a session so I can do more. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So, whew, okay. Yeah. So let's do some healing. So, anybody who's playing, see, we've lost some eyeballs. Is it because I said I'm raising my rates? Anyway,
I think that.
yeah, yeah. It's interesting when you grow and you see who grows with you, who's along for the ride. Yeah, that happens in marriages and friendships and work situations. And yeah. And I wonder who I'll trigger, like Natalie having the balls to charge what she's worth. That triggered me, and I figured some people will be triggered. Kind of like when I had an affair and disrupted my whole friend group.
I remember.
When I left my husband, and yeah, Koop, you remember.
Yeah, I tracked your crew for a while.
You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, I think like 10 years. Anyway, it's all perfect. Yeah. So blah blah blah. So let's do a quick grounding. So anybody who's playing, I'm going to ground from my heart center because that's what I usually do. But if you're feeling a little sketchy about life, maybe start with your root chakra. So down by your tailbone, it's red. If you're going with heart, it's green. Pick a chakra, any chakra. Who cares? So if you're playing along, here we go. So fill up that chakra space with that beautiful bright color that it is. And then we're going to expand it through our energy fields. The energy of that light, that chakra energy is expanding through our energy fields, through wherever we are in the world right now, and ultimately to the far reaches of the universe. We're going to send that energy down, down, down to beautiful Gaia, Mother Earth, and do a little energy exchange with her and bring up some of her beautiful earth energy. Okay, and that's going to swirl through our energy fields, and we're also going to open our crown chakras and allow in the cosmic energy to join the party. Okay, so, and let's just real quick, any dead people, any stuck souls that are here on the call right now and want an exit strategy, no questions asked. Jesus will be our escort. Come on down. So, do we have some dead people that are ready to move on? Yep. Jesus, are you our escort? Yep. Are we ready? We are. Okay, just relax. Yeah, and yesterday, no, not yesterday. I guess it was Saturday. Yesterday felt like Saturday just to really fuck me up. But on Saturday, I needed to go to my adult candy store. And it just turned out they were celebrating 420 on the 16th. Um, And it's like, yeah. And so free, like worth at least like $100 or whatever they say, gift bag for the first 50 people. And I think I was the fourth in line. And I'm just like, and
Wow.
everyone's just like, it's like, finally the lady behind me, an older lady behind me, who I could barely understand because she was wearing a mask. But anyway, we made eye contact, and I'm like, well, it's good to see I'm not the only one who enjoys or has appreciation for a good gift bag. Um, yeah, and my dispensary does not disappoint. Like my dispensary is brightly lit. It's beautiful. No coverings on the windows like old school. I don't know if dispensaries still do that, maybe the ones that aren't doing it legally. But my dispensary is legal and beautiful and generous. I can't wait for Senior Citizen Day. Yeah. Anyway, that being said, yeah. So who has two thumbs and loves a good gift bag? This gal. Okay. So let's see what we need to do for everyone's highest good and feeling today. Um, Aw, sweet. So in case you're not if you're listening and not watching, Dave checked in, just said checking in between patients to remind you how awesome you are. And then he put lips and teeth, and I remember he did that once. I'm like, what the hell is that? He's like, kisses and bites. So that's something I used to say to my cat Charlie, because she'd be like lick, 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 and then lick, lick,
This
lick,
is what-
kisses and bites. So he's sending me kisses and bites. Yeah. Anywho, so it's safe and appropriate to work with the group today energetically. It sure is. Okay. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to check for usual suspects. No, this is on my master menu. No, this is on my newer menu. Uh-huh. Okay. And just in case anybody's wondering, having a private session is about 1 million times more interesting than this. Just saying. But yeah, not trying to push anything. But ultimately, I just want people to know it exists. You know? Yeah, when I'm feeling shitty, I want to feel better. I'm really that's a strong one for me. Um, yeah. But quite frankly, some people are miserable, and I think they want to keep it that way because then that's when they get maybe some sympathy, or I think there's a payoff. There's some kind of payoff. There's some kind of payoff for everything. So, anywho. All right, so let's check this out. We're going to do some mystery work. No, we're going to mend a vulnerability. No, an atrophied emotion. No, voodoo spell curse energy. No, a shared chakra. Nope. We need to clear some technology. We need to clear a portal. No. We need to cut a cord. No. Shattered energy field. Nope. Suffering loop. The ever popular suffering loop. Okay. So this is what's showing up for the group. Okay. You might be wondering, what's a suffering loop? Well, the best I can say is some kind of energy that you're stuck in and it's just feeding on itself. And so what we're looking to do is disrupt that pattern. Whatever it is, you don't even need to know what it is. Okay, and we're going to use what my guides call bypass circuitries, and these are handled by Gaia, and I see them as pattern disruptors. So we're going to disrupt the pattern of this suffering loop that's resonating for the group, watching now or in the future. So this is in column A. No. Column B. No. Column C. No. Okay. My name is Colleen. No. Okay. We'll come back to this in mere moments, hopefully. Okay. So I'm testing as someone else. I am. Okay. I'm testing as a human on the planet. No. I'm testing as somebody in non-physical form. Yeah. Now my answers are getting all kind of timid. I'm testing as a female non-physical somebody. No, I'm testing as a male non-physical somebody. No. Okay. This male non-physical somebody comes from the light, comes from the light, comes from the light, comes from the dark, comes from the dark, comes from the dark. I get a yes on the light, no on the dark, but my answers aren't very smooth, which makes me wonder what's happening. But anyway, okay, so this non-physical male comes from the light, comes from the light, comes from the light. Okay. Is he somebody that I'm familiar with? Yeah. Okay. Well, is it one of these guys? Yeah. Okay. Is it one of these guys? No. Okay. So when I point to the sky in my world, that means not from this planet. Ooh. And if this is strikingly strange to you that I could possibly be considering that there is life beyond this planet, well, then I'm surprised you're even watching. That's old news. Very, very old news. And what a lame cosmic plan if we are it.
Right?
Seriously? Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a lot of us, but we're on a little blip of yeah, anyway. So silly. But
It's
anyway, okay, so it's one of these guys. So this is a male. Okay. And this is somebody that I know. Okay, this is Lon. No. Is this Hall? Oh, Hall. Okay, so Hall is back. Okay. Um, Hall is lovely. He is one of the first three that identified themselves as ETs early on in my work. I did not know this would be coming up. But if you're doing energy work or considering it, touching the self point and just checking in with who you're testing as, that really allows in for others to kind of make themselves known. And I know for some people that scares the living shit out of you because, oh, what am I opening myself up to? Well, sorry, I'm making fun of you a little bit lightly. Um, but once you learn how to deal with these things, it's just, they're so much less scary. Like anybody who shows up not in non-physical in my world, bring it. It's like I'll either help them to the light if they're not from the light or see what they want. And then if they're not from the light, I'll get rid of them. They're not interested in my help.
Aries.
Aries.
My
Maybe he's
neighbor.
celebrating its Aries season,
My
right?
neighbor's
Isn't it
like that.
Aries the sign right now? Mimi? Anyway. All right.
My neighbors are here.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, so Hall, you have something for the group? Yes. Okay. Do you have someone specific that's watching right now? Ooh, the plot just thickened. Okay. You have something for a male watching? You have something for a female? You do. Okay, let's see who's the winner. All right. So Yvonne, Monica, Mimi, Pam, Karen, Deja, Laura, no. So Laura L, no. Jennifer, Shannon. Oh, Shannon. Okay, Shannon, I don't know if you're still watching, but this is for you. Um, yeah, so I get that Hall, just to fill you in, Koop, I get that Hall has something specific for Shannon. And Shannon was talking about, yeah, why am I trying to? She's working on subconscious blocks. Ugh, is what she said. So, Shannon, Hall has something for you. And Shannon, if you don't reply to this, well, why am I talking to you if you're not here? But I'll send you a message to check this out later. Okay. All right. So, Hall, you have something specific for Shannon. Yes. Is this in any of my body of work? Like, can we use my framework for this? Yes. Okay, we need to check her for usual suspect. No, this is on my master menu. No, it's on my newer menu. No, this is pure potentiality. Ooh, okay. So, Paul, you want to take Shannon's energy into this pure potentiality space for her highest good and well-being. Okay, this is absolutely for Shannon's highest good and well-being. Yes. Okay. And it comes from the light. Yes. Are you ready? Yes. May I participate? Yes. Okay. Is this for the entire group? No. So, all right. Give us a second. Okay. All right, Hall. Did you do for Shannon what you wanted to do? Yes. Okay. Hall, do you have anything else for the group or for Shannon? Nope. So we're complete with you. All right. Thanks, Hall. Nice to see you. All right. So my name is Colleen. Yes. Okay. So we're ready to disrupt the pattern of this suffering loop for the group. Yes. Okay. It's a group loop. All right. So this bypass circuitry is in column A. Yes. In an odd numbered row. No. In row 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10. Okay, this is called burgeoning path. Okay, so Gaia, are you ready to facilitate the revelation of this bypass circuitry, thereby disrupting the pattern of this suffering loop for the group? Yep, this is safe and appropriate from the light. Yep, are we ready? Yep, we are. All right, I'm going to close my eyes and just hold space for Gaia to do her thing. There's nothing you need to do, just relax. Even if you're not relaxed, you can't do it wrong. So, neener, neener, ha, ha. And if you do any kind of energy work, I invite you to add suffering loop on to your menu of options or your energetic tool bag. Anyway, just saying. Okay. So Gaia, have we successfully facilitated the revelation of this bypass circuitry, thereby disrupting the pattern of the suffering loop for the group? Yep. Thanks, Gaia. You're awesome. Okay. Is there something else energetic to do for the group today? Yeah, this is on my master menu. It is. Okay. This is in column A. No, this is in column B. Yes. In an odd numbered row. Yes. In row 1. Yes. Okay, this is taking me to my dimensions chart. Just something that kind of became a thing and started, yeah, took on a life of its own back in the day. All right, 1 second. So smooth. That's me. So smooth. Okay, so the dimension we're looking at for the group is in column A, no. In column B, no. In column C, yeah. Okay, this is in an odd numbered row, yes. Okay, this is in row 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 13. And our winner is personal safety dimension. Yeah, that's been a big one for me in this lifetime. Like getting really clear about like how well, I'm feeling better about it now, but I do have a lot of like concern for my personal safety. Um, yeah. Anyway, but I've been working on it over time, and as I work on it, it's like I'm cleaning off different parts of my windshield of perception, and then life just looks better and clearer the more I clear this stuff. I probably sound like a broken record, but they say like you have to hear something. What's that?
I mean, not everybody sees every single show, right? And
How dare you? How dare anybody?
Plus, it's important to say, and you're only saying it like I only hear it once a week, maybe,
Right.
right? So no,
Right.
it takes a while for it to sink in. So, no, please continue.
Thank you. Yeah. So personal safety is what's coming up. So the words that resonate are I get that there's something to clean up for the group regarding our personal safety dimension. So, and which is a little bit of a mind fucker for me because I know exactly how to do that for myself or a person, but for a group, well, let's see what shows up. Because usually, oftentimes it shows up as like spirit attachments in there that need to be cleaned out. Um, yeah, but there's something we can do to clear our personal safety dimensions for the group. Yes. Okay, this is on my master menu. It is. Okay. This is in column A. It is. In an odd numbered row, yes. In row 1, no. 3, 5, 7, 9, Okay, so this is what's showing up to do first is it's a process that my guides gave me years ago, and the words that so my guides give me the words, so sometimes they sound weird, but this one's called appreciating the unraveling of vulnerability. And as I like to point out, I'll get there, I'll get there. Vulnerability is the new sexy. Pass it on. Uh, so, yeah. So, is everyone that's watching now or in the future ready, and it's safe and appropriate from the light to do this process called appreciating the unraveling of vulnerability? Yep. Okay. Everyone just relax. Anybody who's playing. Before I started writing my book and starting my show, um, about a year and a half ago, um, I was very much in hiding, especially about being on camera, and yeah, and whether it's for one person or 1,000 people, like, yeah, issues about like, oh, well, I'll do this when I look better or when I look younger. As I get older, turns out we're all getting older and we're all having that experience in different ways, and some of them live on my neck. So it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? But at the same, as I say that playfully because like I've been even tapping on like, okay, I'm open to magic happening in every direction. So the other day I was looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, okay, even though my neck looks like fucking Keith Richards, who's decades older than me, I love it. I completely love and accept myself exactly as I am. But I'm open to my neck looking younger as I do my work or whatever. But whatever happens, let's just say things have loosened up and being vulnerable, um, doing this show has been pure magic for me. And I know I hear from people occasionally or people write in their comments how it affects them. And, if nothing else, it signs people's permission slip, maybe even just a little bit to be more authentic in the world. And, especially with social media and everything and people being, filters on top of it, like, oh my God, filters are fun for a second, but you don't want to be Madonna and look fucking weird when she's like in her mid 60s, you know?
Yeah.
Anywho, but just being a real human and, part of what I like, and I'll just say I appreciate that it's about myself that I've hung in there for a year and a half,
Yeah.
being afraid to commit to something like this. It's turned out to be quite liberating. You just never know where the magic is. Anyway, I'm all over the place. Vulnerability, showing other humans like I feel like I get to share a slice of my humanity once a week for the last 70 something weeks or something. Um,
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, the regularity, the consistency. I mean, wow. I mean, wow.
well, I'll say the same of you, Coop, because ever since you've been joining me, since it became a consistent thing,
There was one time I missed it, but otherwise, yeah, it's been
but there've
since
always been
before
reasons.
Thanksgiving. I guess it's been for about 6 months. I guess.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you credit for being consistent. So whatever you're seeing in me, let's just play with the idea of the world's a mirror. So anything anybody sees in me, like I'll say to Dave, like, you're magical. And he's like, I'm just a mirror. Or you're the most beautiful man in the world. Or you're the most beautiful person or soul in the world. He's just because one of his stock responses is, I'm just a mirror,
Mirror, yeah.
you know? And so if you see something in me that you appreciate, you might want to consider what it is in you that's being reflected back to you. Read the book. It's a chapter
But
about the
it's easy
world's
to do
mirror.
the opposite too. And I mean, when like that person makes me so angry, it's well, it's probably because you're doing the same thing and you don't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A friend who might still be watching, she was talking about dealing with her mom again. And her mom doesn't get it. Her mom, whatever. And how much upset it brings to her when she talks to her mom. because her mom's not looking at her own shit and then pointing out my friend's shit. And it's like, if everyone just looks at what it brings up to them, like what's being mirrored back. Yeah, I have a lot to say. Writing a book
I
is
can't wait for the book. I can't wait.
I've got a lot written. Yeah, whew. But I'm shooting for February 4th as being the absolute last day for me to like hand something over to an editor,
Okay,
whoever
wow.
that might be, my mystery editor. Anyway, blah blah blah. But I applaud you, Koop, for like you can't make this shit up. Who knew that we'd be doing this? And I'm always excited when I send you that text saying, "Hey, am I going to get to see you tomorrow?" And when you respond, so like indubitably, I just spit. I hope nobody saw that.
Absolutamente.
Absolutamente. Yeah, that was yesterday's. And like that, yeah, it's just, there's just magic all around it. So anyway, I'm so grateful for anybody watching. Yeah. So, let's just see if this has been handled. So have we successfully completed this process of appreciating the unraveling of vulnerability for the group? Yes. Okay. Is there anything else we need to do for our physical? Oh, God damn it. Let me get the right word. Personal safety dimension. Okay. Is there anything else since it's already 12:11? Is there anything else for us to do for the group regarding our personal safety dimensions? No. So we're complete with that? Yes. Is that an okay place to stop for now? It is. Okay. So thank you everybody for showing up, and just going to put it out there. If you'd like a session, especially while my prices are less, or when my prices are more, I highly encourage it. It's a real adventure. We go on an adventure, and it's a solid at least 1 hour of creating magical openings, probably where you don't expect them, and then you see what happens. And yeah, I'm feeling more and more at ease and confident in saying, yeah, things will happen. It might not be exactly what you're looking for, but it'll be exactly what you need. How about that? Wow.
Like you're saying, it is a lot different when it's one specific person as opposed to a group. I mean, it's much more.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Not to say this doesn't do anything. Like it has whatever it has for whatever. Why am I trying to explain magic?
Yeah, no.
Anyway, so and Mary says, I just got here. I was in a meeting. Can you stop? Oh my God. Mary, you have been making me laugh since my early 20s. And I've always appreciated you. And I love you. And I love everybody who tunes into this. Even if you think this is crazy and you tune in anyway, I love you. I'll just say it across the board. Because we're all here. We're all here in this interesting game together. And yeah, I appreciate what everybody brings to the table. And I'm really working on, it doesn't feel like work much anymore, but I'm really focusing, remembering, training myself to focus on that I make room for all of it. I allow all of it. And whatever comes into my experience, that's exactly what I need. And then it's up to me to address it, clean it up, whatever. Yeah. And Roy is saying to Mary, I'm sure, don't ask me for a summary. Yeah. Anyway, which is funny. Sometimes I'll do a session for somebody and then their partner will ask them like, well, what happened? And they'll be like, like, you didn't take notes? What's wrong with you? Because we turn a lot of corners and it's a lot of fun. Anyway, so Yvonne says, I love you too. Yvonne is amazing. And I cannot wait to read her book. Yeah, I won't talk about her book because that's not my place, but a very different book from mine. Well, in a lot of ways. But anyway, and thank you, Karen. It was great today, wasn't it? And it was made even greater because you were here, Karen. So thank you, everybody. And I'm just going to put this up in case anybody needs it. Energy Healing with Colleen is my beautiful website. And if you ever are interested in a session or you don't know if it's a fit or whatever, send me a message, get a hold of me some way, and let's chat about it. Let's just chat about it. Yeah, if I can be of any assistance, please let me know. And once again, I love you all, and I love you, Koop, my good friend for so many years now. We'll count the number at some point, but it's over 30, right?
Yes.
We're like 35.
Coming up, yeah. 87, 86, somewhere around there.
I think, well, definitely at least 87. So either 87, 88 is when I met you. So anyway, okay, enough of my yammering. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and thank you for watching, whether you watch live or in the future. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Check out my website and sign up for the book. It's not done yet, but I do offer just like the little preface, which I think has magic in it alone. Just saying. And um, and because I can, because this is my show, I'm going to put this up one more time because I think there's magic in it for whoever needs it. She's primed for a shift, her magic cleverly stored, awaiting its spark. And if you don't think you're magic yet, I dare you to have a session with me and not start to consider that you might just be a little magical. Anyway, as promised, I'm going to stop talking now. And thank you, Koop. I love you. And I'll hope to see you all next week. Bye.
Everybody.